Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition. I'm your host, Colors Fade, aka Christopher Holmes, from the Friendly Gaming Network. This is episode 18, Bear River is what this is being called. It's going to be the next map that we're going to move to.
I shall
go to the edge of the map here. Bear River is this little map down here. You can see here's the river on the Overland World map. We're going to go there. I'm going to try to clear the map and get ourselves some experience. Everybody's tired and we've used up all of our healing spells. What time of day is it? It's day 33, hour 15. If we rest, it's going to be just after midnight. So, we have to do that. I'm not too keen on doing that because I don't like running around on these maps in the dark. Only because it's just harder for you as a YouTube video watcher to see what's going on. But if you're sticking with me through this, well then, maybe we'll move a little bit, clear the coast, and then sleep again so we can get a daytime look at things. Oh crap! So this is the area with the bridge. Dang it. Alright. I'm going to have everybody move in, and I'm going to have Branwyn, who is going to try and hold person on the Hobgoblin Elite.
You're a queer fellow.
Imoen only has the one spell memorized, and it's a fairly useless identify spell. And we're back to being partially glitched here because Dynahair is now...
What is your command?
Dynahair is not letting me deal with her directly, so... Last episode she worked, this episode she doesn't. Alright, and there's two of these ding-dongs, so... Oh, and not having Dynahair directly is really annoying. Dynahair's going to run up here and try to do something really amazing. She's going to try to color spray these guys.
Hello.
And she is going to catch Bless on my main group of fighters, and Minsk has been poisoned.
Give me strength.
So he doesn't have a cure poison, but she does.
By temper shield.
Wow, darn it. They have poison arrows. That stinks. Alright, I'm going to have her continue casting Bless. Minsk has... Oh, he did have, but he doesn't have it there now. He did have one of these antidotes. Uh-oh, and now Ajantis has... way too many people poisoned.
Yep.
Dang it. And she can't get them. Oh, the poison's gonna hurt.
What is your command? I care not.
Imoen, you need to help take these guys out.
How may I be of assistance? You have but to ask.
I'm gonna send my own guy out in the hopes that I can do this. She's obviously gonna have to cure Minsk of that little affliction. Dynahair is gonna have to try to help kill this hobgoblin here. They're the ones that have the poison arrows. Okay, there she goes. She got that one. Lightning made the screen brighter for a second. I don't have two cure poisons, so the only thing Branwyn can do now is just try and cure Ajantis. My guy needs to go kill this dude over here. Alright, they're dead. Everybody's dead. Get over here. We really are going to need to rest here.
What is your command?
When you don't have a healing, or I mean a poison antidote, you have to just keep healing these guys and hope that you can... I could switch the antidote to the... I could switch the antidote to him right now and have him drink it and it would stop this, but I'm going to hope that poison stops here pretty soon. Oh, brother. Right, Minsk. Who had it? Me. I'm going to put that in Ajantis' thing. gonna make it a quick item, and if he gets near death, I'm gonna just have to use it.
By hell.
Everybody's out of healing spells. Alright, we survived that.
I've done had enough of this.
What I really wish I understood is why all of a sudden I can't select Dynahair again. I had to reboot my computer because give it up for NVIDIA's Shadow Play, courtesy of the NVIDIA experience. It is the second biggest pile of shit application I have ever used on a computer. The first biggest pile of shit goes to Apple's iTunes, which sucks incredibly bad. Small rant here. Apple, your software stinks. I'm a software developer. I've worked on UIs. I've done all kinds of different work, from databases, full stack development, web applications, Windows applications. You motherfuckers at Apple do not understand how to marshal things to the UI without completely bogging down the entire application and the rest of the computer. I don't know what the fuck you're doing, but your software stinks. And NVIDIA experience, you're the second worst, because I can make one or two of these videos and then your software overlay just stops fucking working. It's a pile of shit, and you suck. You guys, your software should be better by now. It really should. It shouldn't suck this much. So, and since I'm just too irritated to have to use somebody else's software to make my movies with, because Shadowplay, when it does work, is really nice. I just click the overlay and it works. I just Alt-Z and turn it on. But then you get to these periods after you've made 2 or 3 videos, doing nothing else with your computer, by the way, and all of a sudden, Alt-Z doesn't bring up the overlay.
I shall attend to it.
And it just stops working.
I've done had enough of this.
So that's my little bit of rant for this episode. You know, it just irritates me to no end when people's software doesn't do the basics. Kind of like with Windows. I'll try to rest again and hope we don't get interrupted. With Windows, killing a runaway task is nigh impossible. You can hit Control-Alt-Delete and it just might spin, bringing up the task manager forever. If you run a Windows or Linux system, it's actually really easy. Kill a task. There's nothing else in the way of the operating system that says, oh, you shouldn't be doing this. Dynahair, we have to click on directly now because something in her is broken, no longer has any of these, and I can't give her any because she's broken. Wonderful. So I'm going to have to turn off the AI.
No less.
Because I certainly don't want her going after these clowns. We've been interrupted trying to sleep twice, and if Ajantis gets hit, we may be in real big trouble.
It's better to die on your feet than live.
I'm gonna try to hold these guys. It's just, we're all getting hit.
If Tempus wills it.
My spleen.
Yeah, my spleen is alright. Oh, and that's it. We died. So, there we go. Interrupted twice. In our quest to sleep and get some rest and heal, we keep getting interrupted by ogres. So, this particular spot on the map is a real hot spot for ogres, it appears. And I can't appear to just get some sleep.
You have but to ask.
I don't even care about picking up the loot now. I just want to get some sleep and not be interrupted.
What is your command?
Yes?
You're a queen. I'm gone.
So across this bridge is something that I remember being somewhat difficult to deal with.
How may I be of
That's my
assistance?
recollection. I
shall attend to it
can't
in a
actually
trice.
remember what it is. But I know that I go in here and I use this quick formation. Oh, and there is...
What you want? I'm gone.
You're gone if you can get out of the way. Oh yeah, there's a spell there. So, put these in there. Oh, this is really frustrating. I can't move that to Dynahair. So I will say that this particular problem here is nothing I've ever experienced in the default Baldur's Gate game. It appears to be something that only happens
you have but to ask.
in the expanded edition, enhanced edition. Before anything else goes bad,
is with Helm's blessing.
he's gonna pick up stuff. This bridge is really narrow, and whatever's on the other side, I have a feeling is disastrous. It might be a really good idea to shoot at it with a bow and arrow before it arrives, if my recollection is correct that it is something nasty. He can't use a bow and arrow, can he? I can. I don't have one that he can use anyways. And I can't get a hold of Dynahair.
What is it this time? It shall be as you wish.
It's on the other side. Nothing. Nothing's on the other side. That does not gel with what I remember. Maybe I'm remembering a different bridge. There are a few in the game, a few areas like this where there are bodies of water and bridges across them, so I wanted to say it was something like an ogre mage or something just really horrible that made it really difficult to deal with. Let's see what the overland map looks like. There's a bridge. I think it's the second bridge down here. I think there's a second bridge. So, in an effort to clear this whole map here, we're going to come down here and I am going to try to remember what this area is down here. And if I remember this one correctly, like I did in one of the previous episodes, I believe this coastal region here has sirens on it, and we saw what trouble they were a couple episodes ago. The only real solution was to send Mintskin and berserk them. Oh, and here come the Ogrillions, and these guys hit really hard as well. So
Hello?
Branwen is going to... Does it say? It says hobgoblins, humans, half-orcs. These are Ogrillions, which I think count as half-orcs. You can see my knowledge of this sort of thing is not very good. Oh, I know how I can get her some... Imoen's gonna have to drop some rocks on the ground, and she'll be able to pick them up.
I care not.
I'm gonna take... Ooh, this is not good. She's gonna go through those fast. I'm gonna drop these bullets on the ground.
I'm gone.
Imoen's gonna move over here. Dynahair is gonna go over here and get those and pick them up and put them on there. And in addition to that, she has another 80 right there.
Helm,
Ajantis is
give
gonna
me
go for that
strength.
guy.
Yes?
I'm gonna go
You
for
have
the
but
one
to
in the
ask.
back. Branwen might successfully... Oh, she didn't. And so, with this window being small and you not being able to scroll through it really well, and when you try to scroll, it scrolls way too fast. I can't know if Branwen attacks O'Brien. Branwen casts, and it doesn't say anything about attack rolls or anything. So
By Tempus, if Tempus wills.
the other thing to do here is I could cast Bless, or I could go with Chant. I like Chant because it also has negatives to other enemies. So I'm gonna chant an RNA pummel. Oh, and then right as the chant goes off.
How may I be of assistance? I shall attend to it in a trice.
You're a... I've done had enough of this.
Running out of bullets for our mages, so that's not good. And unfortunately,
What is
you
it
don't
this time?
find them on enemies.
Yes? How may I be of assistance?
Alright.
It shall be as you wish.
Oh, see, so this is... you can't go any further to the left, to the west. And it's not up against the coast, so I am wrong because the sirens are only there on ocean-faring maps. Oh, and I can't get there. They can't go that way, even though it looks like they can. So... So we're going to go up this way. There's a squirrel. Uh-oh. And a bear. He's worth some experience. Like 450, I think we saw from an earlier game. So, even though I don't really want to, we should attack the bear. And I'm going to start with...
Whatever they need.
You cast a spell on it. Because that blinds him. Get him. One of the things I don't like is that these guys...
Cool, while Squeaky Wheel gets stuck in.
Attack. Get him. Oh, somebody got him. Alright. He gets 420 experience from that, split among the group, so that's... Even though I'm kind of a nature guy and I don't like it, you do need to attack the bears. At least the big brown bears, and get that experience from them. So this is the part of the river that we came down. And I'm just gonna go clear this whole area up to the upper left. Well, actually we're gonna save that. No, we're not. Here's my thinking. I like to tell people what my thinking is the whole time. If we had enough bullets, I'd just go up here, I'd save this area for last, and we'd clear it last, and then we would go over to the world map to Sea Watch Tower. But the problem is we're going to run out of bullets before we even finish this map, and we're going to have to go all the way back to either Nashkel, or, well, Nashkel will be the closest, so we'll go back to Nashkel and we'll kind of restock. So there's no sense in trying to save this for later. Who is this person? This is Laurel, and I don't remember anything about her, so...
Hello.
Before we get too far in this conversation, and maybe she's like bad or calls a bunch of friends to her, I'm gonna heal. Brandon's gonna heal me.
How may I be of assistance? You have but to ask.
Alright, who is
Yes,
she?
friend?
Ah, I sense a party of adventurers that seek to do good in the world. How would you like to fend off a herd of gibberlings? That sound you hear is me drinking Crown Royale. This episode sponsored by Crown Royale. Yes, we would gladly join you for a while. Wonderful. You should prepare yourselves. Fire magics work well against the gibberlings, so if you have such spells, use them. Funny
What is it this time?
that I don't. Not that advanced yet. Here they come, though. Brandon, you go up this way and help fight with Minsk. Oh, jeez. Wow, there's a bunch of them. Dinah here.
They wish my ear.
Yeah, get these things up. Oh, no. Cast it on that one, then. I love it when she casts that spell. Oh, and get that one up there. Oh, they just smacked them down.
Yes? You have but to ask.
Yes, friend?
Well, then. She says, Gibberlings are a plague that must be wiped from the Sword Coast. Perhaps we will meet again. But she is
What you
not
want?
anybody
I'm
you will
gone.
meet again. At least from my recollection. I like to qualify all of these statements that I make about the game as being from my recollection. I, honest to God, have not played this video game in at least 10 years. I have certainly played Baldur's Gate 2 much more recently. But I have not played this one
How
for
may I
quite
be
some
of
time.
assistance? You have but to ask.
And these games, these two Baldur's Gate games, along with the Icewind Dale games, just made a huge impression on me as a gamer. So this is neat. We got this fire up here, and we got this huge ogre, and he's not immediately going to attack us. He's got a little lean-to here, so we're going to talk to him and see what that's all.
I will crush.
You no bother now. Me eat. We fight after me fat happy. Well, dude, I can tell you from eating too much that when you fat happy, you just want to take a nap. You don't want to fight. Okay, so are we going to waste our time waiting for him, or are we just going to attack him? Haha! 270 experience for getting the fat happy ogre.
By hell.
They're called As directed.
Pick up that little thing.
What is it this time? It shall be as
What
you
is it
wish.
this time? Well, we are on the edge of the map. Keep moving northward. The terrain here reminds me of some maps that come later in the game, and one of my most favorite ones is the one with all the spiders on it. Though I detest spiders, both in the game and in real life. I'm not a spider lover at all. But it is one of the neatest maps. There's no question about that. And it comes much later. So here is, we're back to the river. We've cleared this part of the map. We're going to go back down to where we were. And I think there's a second bridge down here. And I think on this side of this bridge is something bad. But I can't remember exactly what it is. There are a couple times in the game when you will run into ogre mages, and they can be
Whatever that as well as I can.
quite the problem. The gibberlings are coming, and I'm just going to have her do like 90 degrees there, and
Yes.
I'm going to go after that one. Oh, I don't think she affected any of them. That's too bad. I love that spell when she pulls it off. We've had some good attempts with it earlier in the game.
How may I be of assistance? I shall attend to it in a trice.
So, Dyna Hair,
That
go ahead and
goes.
pick up
Whatever they
loot.
need,
You are
no
the
less.
designated looter this round. And I also want to apologize for not having my second edition AD&D rules down pat. I really should have
What
done
is
a
it
little
this
bit
time?
more research
I
before I
shall
played the
attend to
game,
it in a
just
trice.
because I'm narrating this series and you guys are going, he doesn't know the difference between a turn and a round. How pathetic is this guy? But that's kind of one of the things about these games when they came out, is you could spend an inordinate amount of time learning the rules of Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, and of course we all at the time knew them really well because we played 2nd edition. But once computer games came out, they kind of changed the rules. You paid less attention to things, unless you were playing on the hardest difficulty, where
My
you really had to
will take
micromanage
it down to
everything.
size.
Oh, Ajantis took one hard.
Yes?
Because computer games automated so much
Your
of
point.
what you were doing.
My
Fine.
honor is my life.
They automate all these rules to make it easier for us. So Ajantis got hurt pretty bad. And this is part of a larger conversation I want to have that's a little more philosophical, or not so much philosophical, but design oriented, because the design of computer games fascinates me, especially as a software developer myself. But first we need to rest. Just the idea of how the rules changed, to give everybody kind of a little bit of information here. I played my first pencil and paper role-playing experience in 23 years just last week, and I had to roll up a character, and it took me a good 2 hours to roll up a new character because I was so unfamiliar with the rules.
For the glory of
That's what I remember. It's a polar bear. Oh, and they just hit hard. They hit like a ton of bricks. You've got to get him. Get him. Oh my goodness, they do. They hit really
What is
hard.
it this time?
And so, having not played Dungeons and Dragons in person with friends for over 20 years,
Yes? It shall be
it was
as
a
you wish.
re-educational process. And this was with the 3.5 rules, by the way, which I feel are much better than the old 2.0 rules. It's a different experience. But it's so much fun hanging out with friends around the table, having a little bit of drinkage and doing some role playing. Jared, Jared's in a jail cell somewhere, but that's still funny. Oh, thank goodness someone came by. There's a bear on the other side of that bridge, and it's coming this way. Please hold it off. I'll give you anything. So yeah, this is one of those really funny encounters where they anticipated the player coming from the east, but we came from the west, and so it's not necessary anymore. We killed the bear, and now, okay, not quite anything. Here's 50 gold pieces, though. Will that be all right? At least in their programming efforts, the code was enough was done well enough that if you slew the bear first, it still triggers correctly, so that's cool. And I don't think there's much else on this map other than maybe a couple of random gibberling or bear things. Here comes a wolf. Dog. A war dog.
For right. And I always am.
A war dog. Basically anybody whose dog hasn't been fed in a while. Feed me, master. I will become war dog. This is part of the river where you can come out here. This middle part, and I don't think there's anything out here. Yeah, there's not. I'm holding my tab key down, and there's no like little dots like the gem spot that happens just outside the friendly arm in. Uh-oh, but there is these Ogrillions, and this is not good.
Thy temper shield.
I'm gonna have her cast that right about there.
Less talk, more fight.
Yep, more talk, less
How
fight.
may I be of assistance? It shall be
Go
as
for
you
the
wish.
eyes, Boo. Go for the eyes.
Get it off. Oh my goodness.
What is it this time?
Oh, it's really annoying that Bless takes that long to cast. It makes
Yep.
it almost
This way.
useless. Not completely, but almost.
Yes? It shall be as you wish.
And if you're watching and you're following along and maybe you're just passively listening or something, but you notice that I do quick save a lot. Neville Longbottom. Ah, weary travelers, well met. Neville, fairest of all fair bandits at your service. What may I do for you this hour? Well, for starters, you could tell your men in the bushes to drop their bows and step out into the open. Did you find all 5 of them then? Pity. So I have to train them better. Anyhow, I'm afraid that I can't abide by your wishes. My men would think me a coward to surrender in the face of such a paltry force. Truly, I see no other choice than to order them to fire at will and rob your sad corpses of any iron that they may carry. Come on, men. I believe the choice before us is clear. Okay, but, you know, I'm not sure. Oh, he's got a bunch of hobgoblins with him. You guys do that,
What is your command?
and you are going to hit them with the old,
Dread.
Oh, this is going to be great if she gets it off. Bang! She got all 3 of them. That's awesome.
I care not.
Imoen, go up there. Dynahair, where are you?
That call.
I want you to go cast that on him.
Give us victory.
And me,
How may I
I'm
be
done
of help
fighting
but
that
to
guy.
ask?
The rest of those dudes need to come after him, but... Yeah. Oh, and someone made a level. We heard the magic sound. That's awesome. Love it. There's nothing so much I love as
What is
making
it
a
this
level.
time?
Cool one. Full plate and packing steel.
I think I mentioned this in an earlier video, but for humor's purposes,
Yes? You
for
have
the
but to
longest time I thought
Your
what
point.
Minsk was saying was
Kicking hot
cobalt
goodness.
sod, but he says, who wants some? Which is pretty funny, but it's not what I thought he was saying. This is a +1 longsword, which is sweet. I need that. I already have one over here, though. Oh, I have the Harrower, and then I have this other one, which is +2, so I don't really need that, but... And a whole bunch of people made levels, which is great.
ask. How may I be of it shall be as you wish.
So we might as well level everybody up this episode. Here we go. Branwen made a level. Level her up. She gets no more weapon proficiencies, but she gets a level 2 pre-spell and a level 3 pre-spell. 9 additional hit points. Imoen levels up to her 2nd level in Mage. She doesn't get any more skills, but she gets another level 1 Mage spell. And, oh, I guess they were the only 2 that leveled up. So, Imoen gets another spell. And having this memorized is almost useless, but I'm going to keep it. And what I'm going to go for her is Oh, we're going to have some fun. I'm going to try Charm Person out on people. And then Branwen gets more priest spells. She gets another 2. I almost want to keep a second slow poison, but we did survive that last encounter. Bark Skin is great. Casting time is 5 though. Increase the base armor class to 6 + 1 for every 4 levels of the priest. Armor class 5 at 4th level, armor class 4 at 8th level, and so on. In addition to saving throws, I'll get a +1. It's a nice defensive spell if you're in a really long fight to have, but given the way we're playing, just rolling through the countryside and stuff, I think having another hold person might be really nice. And then she gets a level 3 spell, which is her first time getting a level 3, and there are a bunch of really good level 3 spells. Miscast Magic, which I'm not going to memorize, is great. When a creature attempts to cast a spell, it suffers an 80% chance of failure. You want to throw these at mages and priests, and these can be really, really useful. Holy Smite is really nice, and also I don't mean to memorize that, but clicking on it makes it kind of do it. The result is that any evil creatures within the spell's area of effect take 1d4 points of damage per level of the caster. So as a level 5 caster, she's going to do like 5d4 points of damage, or half damage upon successful saving throw. And if you remember from an earlier episode, I was talking about whenever they save versus spell and there's no effect, I'm not a big fan of those kinds of spells, and Charm Person is one of those. If they save, nothing happens. But if they save versus a spell and still take half damage, that's pretty good. If the victims fail their saving throw, they are also blinded for 1 round. I mean, Holy Smite is a nice spell. Dispel Magic is a great spell for getting things off of your people, again, like Confusion and Charm Person and stuff like that. I definitely want to memorize one of those. And then Cure Medium Wounds is nice. It's your next healing spell. You've already seen how much we use Cure Light Wounds. I kind of like to have that. Disease, if you get disease, is sad. The other cool thing she has at bigger fights, if you know they're coming, for instance, when we go after the bandit camps, Animate Dead. This spell causes a skeleton warrior to rise and serve the caster under any conditions. The type of skeleton warrior that appears depends upon the level of the priest casting the spell. If she's 1st through 6th level, you get a 3 hit dice skeleton warrior wielding a long sword. Later on, you get a skeleton warrior wielding a bastard sword +1, and a skeleton warrior wielding a longsword +1 from 7th to 10th. And then 15th level and up, which you can't reach in the game, she has a 9 hit dice. 9 hit dice skeleton warrior wielding a 2-handed sword +1. I don't think you can get a priest to 15th level in this game. But anyways, that's nice stuff. I'm going to choose Cure Medium Wounds though. And then
What is it this time?
with everybody here, we still have enough spells to probably clear the
I
rest
shall
of
attend
this
to it in a
map.
trice.
I'm going to look at where we're at. Yeah, I think so. We may have to rest one more time to clear this map. But we're going to try to do just the perimeter now. There we go. Perimeter over that, and then there's this peak around here. The other thing I hope that somebody in the YouTube comments on is, I have no idea if I spend too much time talking for you guys in these videos, or if I don't. I consider when I make these videos, they're kind of like hanging out with people. This is how I would chat if you guys were just hanging out with me a lot of times, just rambling on about stuff. Here's another one of our awesome bears that are worth 640 points. Oh, and we're basically, we're at the wall, we're at the map. So I'm gonna clear off this section of the fog war. Then we're gonna come up here and get 420 points for this bear. We're gonna see what happens. He hasn't got mad yet, so I think the thing to do is have
Whatever they
Dynaheir
need.
cast a spell on them that causes him to go blind. Oh, and what did it say? Blinded. Yep, so I was right, because she's 4th level right now. This is what I love about this spell. I just love this spell. Chromatic Orb, I don't want to remove it. Cancel. Is one of my favorite spells. I just love this. I love this list of things it does. So at 4th level, 1d6 damage and blinds. What's awesome is at the next level, 5th level, it's 1d8 damage and stuns the target for 3 rounds. I seriously wish that was the effect that it just kept for the rest of the levels. -4 to Thaco is fine at 6th level, but it's still better if it would just stun them. And then the other really good one is at 7th level, it paralyzes a victim for 2 turns. Which is just awesome. At 10th level, okay, it kind of gets better. At 10th level, 1d12 acid damage and turns the victim to stone. I don't think you can reach 10th level in this game with the level cap, but you might be able to because of the expansion. And at 12th level, 2d8 acid damage and instantly kills the victim. I don't know why you need the acid damage if you're instantly going to kill the victim.
Yes?
That's kind of funny. That's basically Avada Kedavra.
Let's talk more fight. Ball
Flank it.
fucking
Flank
steel.
it. Okay. So we
How
got the
may I be of
experience.
assistance? It shall be as you
So
wish.
there we go. That is that map, which puts us in this position. We have 2 maps left over here on the west coast before we can go up to Larswood. So we're getting really close now to being able to continue with the main quest. These areas, regions over here to the right, we could probably also do before continuing with the main quest, but I'm going to save them for after Larswood. Unless we go to Larswood, and Larswood is super difficult to deal with, then we'll come back down and make more experience here. But I know for a fact that one of these maps down here has a basilisk in it, and there can be some tough encounters down here. So that was my plan, was to do the western side of basically this road from Nashkel to Friendly Armin, then do this portion of the bandits, then you do the eastern region, and then there are more bandits up here. This becomes kind of like Act 4 up here in the Cloakwood Forest, which is by far my most favorite part of the whole game of Baldur's Gate. So here we are. I'm going to end this episode. I will see all of you on the next one, and I will thank everybody for watching Let's Play Baldur's Gate.